borderless Pécs, the fifth largest city of Hungary, is the seat of Baranya County. The city, located at the foot of Megyek, with 150,000 inhabitants, is the center of the South Transdanubian region. During the Roman times, in the 3rd and 4th century, the settlement was mentioned as Sopiana. The region, inhabited by Celtic and Ponnon tribes, developed rapidly, so in the 4th century it became a provincial capital as well as a primary center for early Christianity. The episcopate was established by King István I of Hungary in 1009, the first in Hungary University, Nagy Lajos I of Hungary in 1367. Nowadays, more than 34,000 students study at the University of Pécs. Owing to significant contemporary personalities, as poet-humanist Bishop János Pannonius of the 15th century, the settlement turned to be a seat of culture and arts. Strolling down the paved stone of the inner city streets, we are surrounded by an atmosphere of historical times and the multinational society. The 150-year-long Ottoman rule, the immigration of Germans, Croatians, and Serbians. Being a cultural center, Pécs focuses with special attention also to education. Other than the university, several theaters, nationally reputed secondary and vocational schools, multilingual grammar schools, and special kindergartens represent the high standard cultural and educational levels. The extended local public transportation system, the railroad junction, the motorway, and the airport offer ideal and rapid means of access, both for business and tourist travelers. The varieties of local gastronomy, as well as the particular wine region, provide a unique environment for culinary enjoyment. Other than all these, throughout the year, numerous cultural programs, festivals, and special events attract and invite visitors to Pécs. One of the oldest and richest cultural heritage of Pécs is the Roman ancient Christian cemetery, the Cella Septa Hora, that in 2000 was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The painted and unpainted chambers, chapels, crypts, and other relics are preserved in a unique condition. They managed to survive several centuries and to avoid the unwanted looters and vandalism. The wine pitcher and the Peter and Paul burial chamber introduce us to early Christian burial traditions and beliefs. A few steps further, the most monumental ecclesiastical building, the cathedral, originated from the 11th century. The building unites the architectural features of several eras, however the classical and Gothic styles are the most dominating. The cathedral was also reconstructed several times during the past centuries. During the Turkish occupation, certain parts of the cathedral was used as storage. It needed several renovations also because of fire damage. It reached its current final style between 1882 and 1891, when architect Frederick von Schmidt accomplished a monumental reconstruction that resulted in the current Roman-style building. The organ of the cathedral was built by the famous Pécsian organ builder Joseph Angster. The bell of the cathedral, named Peter, is the eighth largest of this kind in the country. It sounded only on special holidays and occasions. In 1990, when Pope John Paul II visited Pécs, the cathedral was raised to Basilica Manor rank. A few steps away from the cathedral is Dom Square, surrounded by the largest inner-city park. The extended area serves as a site for concert, cultural performances, or ad hoc stages for street musicians during the summertime evenings. The square itself provides space for thousands of visitors to attend these events. The walkway with special atmosphere accommodates annual festivals with special attention to the September Pécs Heritage Festival days. Either by resting in the shade of the nearby St. Istvan Square or by walking in the city park, all who long for peace and tranquility can feel the proximity to nature. Strolling further on the steps of history, one can get to the most monumental relic of Hungary. In the 15th and 16th century Ottoman Empire, the most outstanding building of Islamic architecture in Hungary, the Gazi Kazim Mosque. This holy place that nowadays functions as a Catholic church was originally built between 1543 and 1546. The 100 by 100 foot long building is located at the highest point of Széchenyi Square. The mosque includes features of Islamic architecture. The inner walls are decorated by quotes of the Quran, Oriental impressions are represented on the OG windows, and there are Turkish wash basins and a mihrab inside. In the vicinity of the square is the oldest shopping street, Király Street. The name of the street is after Bishop József Király. Walking down the street, one can see historic monuments, the Lyceum Church from 1741, the built in 1724 once church Dominican house, the building from 1870 decorated by Jolnay porcelain and owned by ironmonger Bajvari Gyorgy. Once the street provided the road for tram traffic, the memory of which is preserved on a marble board. The cultural inheritance and wealth of the city are extended to architecture and are also represented in the intellectual masterpieces of local artists. Among the masterpieces exhibited in the Museum Street, museums in the artwork collection of Victor Vazarely, a Pécs-born Hungarian-French artist, the most outstanding representative of the op art style. His optical effect paintings as well as his graphic artworks establish everlasting cultural heritage both for Pécs and the international world. Other than the Vazarely Museum, Pécs hosts the masterpiece paintings of artist Tivadar Csonfari Costa, one of the first Hungarian painters to become a well-known in Europe. If a tourist is interested in something unique and unusual, the Underground Mining Museum is definitely a place to visit. The museum demonstrates several decades of history coal mining that used to be a priority factor in Pécs' industry. The mining served as a source of employment for thousands of citizens. The coal provided living and a means for a better life for newcomers as well. Without exaggeration, it can be declared that life in Pécs, the most expressive turning point was 2010, when the city, along with Essen in Germany and Istanbul in Turkey, held the prestigious title of European Capital of Culture. The preparation to this grandiose festival started as a never-in-the-past 100 years experienced scale of cultural and capital investment. The priority policy of the program was for all three cities to enforce one another's cultural assets, as well as to emphasize both the similarities and the diversities in their cultural values and tradition by organizing joint events. When presenting these treasures of cultural values and assets, it was important to attract worldwide famous artists to Pécs.
That they'll always remember, yes I will.
The British songwriter and song singer Seal, the traditional Cuban musician group Buena Vista Social Club, the world-famous Spanish tenor and conductor Maestro Placido Domingo, all performed in our city during the cultural capital year. Other than these highly reputed international guest stars, Pécs offered several hundred other smaller concerts, cultural events, individual artwork exhibitions, literary evenings, special museum projects, and many other programs. Generally speaking, every day of 2010 provided Pécs as a cultural entertainment for its residents and visitors. Due to the European Union grant and adjacent national subsidies, the European Capital of Culture title managed to change the overall view of the city. Large-scale development projects and the full renovation of public areas were implemented. The inner-city community transportation was also renewed and changed to a more livable system, complying in size and traffic to the city. New and spacious pedestrian walkways and green areas free of motor vehicles were established in the historic center. The public parks and squares gained a new modern style. The center of the city, Saint-Genitaire, went through a reconstruction. New playgrounds were built, refurbished pavements and new benches decorate Saint-Istvan Square. Overall, the city itself became nicer, more modern, and a more practical place for upcoming decades and future generations. The European Capital of Culture program included also the successes of the construction of several grandiose investments. The objective was to establish 3 buildings, until then have been missing from Pécs. The first project was the Regional Library and Knowledge Center. The target of the center was to establish a building that accommodates the inventories of the city and county libraries, that modernizes the old catalog system, provides an easy access to student and visitors. Other than books, study, reading, and lecture rooms are also available. Generally speaking, the building is suitable for holding any type of seminar or professional meeting. The second project was the Kodály Conference and Concert Center, named after Zoltán Kodály, the composer and teacher who is internationally best known for his particular music teaching method. For a long time, Pécs had been missing a corresponding music hall that met European standards by size and quality. The Kodály Center, with almost 1,000 seats featuring state-of-the-art acoustics and individual architectural designs, changed the status of Pécs and made the city available and ideal for organizing world-class concerts. The building is used and not vacant even when there is no performance. It houses the Pannonon Philharmonic Orchestra as well as provides rehearsal sites for other choirs and music bands. Other than caring for the heritage of 2,000 years of history and culture, innovative developments to establish future advancement are also important objectives. The Science Building serves as a state-of-the-art institution for researchers of biotechnology, environmental science, and information technology. The center, compiling to the highest requirements of the European standards, provides excellent location for scholars, scientists, and researchers to manage world-class project developments. The institution works in close collaboration with the University of Pécs, large companies, and in a combination that provides perfect potential in both terms of human resources and capital investments. The third and the largest project was in the Jelene Cultural Quarter. The porcelain manufacturer named after the Jelene family adds a particular value to Pécs. The name Jelene indicates the union of culture and quality. 35,000 square meter large quarter accommodates the art faculty of the University of Pécs, also exhibition halls, galleries, and places for community activities in pleasantly arranged landscape. The most comprehensive survey of the past 150 years is provided by the exhibition of Gyugi Laszlo, a private porcelain collector. Gyugi donated his priceless collection to Pécs, which included the most exquisite pieces of the Jelene Golden Age. This invaluable compilation of masterpieces prove the extraordinarily high quality and meticulously detailed accuracy that feature the products of the factory. Close to the exhibition and different in style but similar in elegance is another collection of masterpieces, the so-called Pink exhibition. This collection introduces pieces of once everyday household objects. All items are distinctly individual, different in molding, spout, handle, or shape, or glazing and color. Also, you must see the visual manufacturing where the handwork of the newest individual pieces of ceramics are made right in front of your eyes. Science lovers will enjoy the Jelene Cultural Quarter Planetarium. This modern and unique institution in the region attracts permanent professional presentation and introduces remote space by educational and informative programs. It gives scientific and comprehensive explanations to the technical difficulties of a space trip. The knowledge about the planets, human nature's place in space, and many other interesting information about space and the universe. The youngest generation also can find entertainment in the quarter. The Babita Puppet Theater provides unlimited reasons for laughter and happy times. This traditional company has been entertaining children and adults for several decades. After learning about the history of Pécs and the Jelene dynasty, experiencing the atmosphere that penetrates throughout the quarter, it is important to visit the Memorial Museum of History of Family and Factory. Interesting documents and historic materials, family photos, household items, legendary pieces demonstrate the history and life of the factory and the family. Pécs, the European city with Mediterranean atmosphere, is an ideal and interesting choice for either leisure or business, for cultural excursion or economic investment for every visitor. The contemporary way of thinking, the visibility of innovative development, the borderless city policy, and the notion of openness all quickly gives the feeling of home when entering Pécs.